No one was more proud of that moment than the man whose name is really synonymous with capitalism, Steve Forbes, Forbes Media chairman, and he joins me now. Steve, great to see you. Did you think we'd be able to reopen the exchange just 6 days after the attack?
The answer is I thought it would take longer. The physical destruction was immense. But what the terrorists, I think, misunderstood, bin Laden misunderstood, is that our system is not based on physical things. It's based on our culture, our freedom, the freedom of the mind to innovate and create. And you can have physical losses, but if you have free minds, people find a way, improvise to do things that were miraculous, and they did that day. And so our political system didn't collapse, and our economic system didn't collapse. Wall Street didn't collapse because the human mind was still there, even though we took a physical loss. That's what they don't understand. And I don't think the Chinese in Beijing, Xi Jinping, quite understand that either.
Yeah.
It's the human mind.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people inside the Beltway understand that right now either. But the energy and enthusiasm and creativity, I'm so glad you mentioned that word. I mean, there was something extraordinarily creative about reopening in 6 days after the attacks, which forced people to do all sorts of things that folks had never discussed doing before.
Well, that's right. And thankfully, since then, we've taken measures where if there's another similar attack, God forbid, now where things are dispersed, the systems are more sophisticated and dispersed. So the real threat now is the hacking, the cyber attacks, rather than physical attacks. But they made the mistake, confusing the physical with the metaphysical. Yeah.
Well, it also helped that we had economic policy that was pretty strong at the time during the Bush administration. Unlike George W.'s father, he never violated any no tax cut, any no tax increase pledge. So we had lower taxes, we had lower regulations. I'm just concerned. I mean, God forbid there's another attack, but you obviously know what's happening in Afghanistan. You wonder if there is, would we be as prepared with current economic conditions?
I think the answer is, in terms of short term, yes. We've taken a lot of measures since 9/11 to make sure that we don't have that kind of destruction again, centralized again. So, yes, I think we could make a quick comeback. You have 16, in effect, stock exchanges now versus the two biggies we had in 2001. So, yes, I think we can come back. The real question is, though, do we have an environment where once we do that quick recovery, can we really grow again? Yeah. And we had a benign environment somewhat after 9/11. We had it in the 1980s, didn't have it in the 1970s. And so, yes, that's why these debates on that $3.5 trillion bill, which is really six when you do the right math, is so critically important in our history, because they want to put in, as you know, David, a whole bunch of new entitlements which will wreck the budget in the future. So it's not just the number, it's what they're trying to put in that bill.
Well, and already those expenditures, the trillions that we've spent so far, have led to this inflation pop that I don't think is transitory. We just got producer prices 8.3% year-over-year increase. 8.3. That is double the wage gains year over year. So working Americans are underwater. That's why I asked whether we'd be in as healthy a position now as we were back then.
Well, one of the things that might happen if we do face a disaster is it does force a change in policy and forces people to focus in a way they haven't done before. And so I think you would see change if we had to do it. Americans were in a bad mood right now, but we're still a very resilient people. And you saw it in the way people, as you mentioned, reacted with even on the day of 9/11. Evacuations by local mariners, restaurants providing food for first providers, people all around the country coming to New York to help out. And that kind of thing you don't see elsewhere in the world.
No, you don't. You don't. But coming full circle, I look at the proposed tax increases of the Biden administration, all kinds of things. But the tax on capital is I put coming full circle to where we started here. I'm just wondering if the major taxes on capital that they're proposing by the Biden administration, whether that could actually harm capitalism more than the 9/11 attacks did.
It certainly would be more long-term harm, because what these people don't understand is if you don't have savings, if you don't have capital, if you don't have the money to invest, you don't have a rising standard of living. It takes investment, just not only to replace aging equipment and the like. How about expanding a business, starting new businesses? A lot of them fail, so you need capital to get that big winner out of the 7 or 8 that don't make it in the venture capital world. So you do need that kind of capital, and they just think it just happens. You know, you go to the supermarket and the food's there. You don't realize they have to plant it, process it, deliver it, and everything else.
Steve Forbes, a capitalist tool, as he used to call himself, as well as his magazine. Good to see you, Steve. Thank you very much for coming in.